Welcome back, friends. Today we're going to be talking about shipping from Panama to Colombia with Overland Embassy. This video is going to have three main parts. Part one, I'm going to talk about the paper process, 1, 2, 3, how it is supposed to go in theory, and that is going to be both for the container shipping steps and also doing this with a pet, specifically a dog. And I say all this with a cheeky little smile because if you have already been overlanding, you know that not everything goes according to the paper process. And if you are planning to overland, please rest assured that everything always works out in the end, usually. And part two is going to be me filming the real life situation, how everything played out. And then part three, at the very end, I'm going to have a little section on things I wish I would have known beforehand that definitely would have saved me a little stress, anxiety, and hassle. So let's get into part one, shipping steps for the container. Number one, contact Overland Embassy. You then submit your deposit and wait for a shipping date. Once you get to Panama, you go to Overland Embassy, you pay your remaining balance if you have one, you submit all of your documents, and then you go and you do the police inspection on your own, and then load your truck into the container, fly to Colombia, you complete one round of paperwork, you go to your first port visit, and then on your second port visit, you drive away with your home on wheels. Now, let me show you a quick graphic of what this looks like if you are traveling with a pet. The day you go to Overland Embassy, pay, submit your documents, go to the vet, start the health certificate. The next day, you can go and do your police inspection. Once that is complete, you can return to the vet and pick up the health certificate. You then need to go to the Plaza Edison to have your health certificate certified by another individual. Once you fly to Colombia, right at the airport, you will look for a small sign that says ICA office. This is Colombia's agricultural institution. If you don't find the office, rest assured somebody will spot you in line with your pet and take you to the office to process your paperwork and pay. Very easy, very simple. Now let's get to part two on how it plays out in reality. Before we jump into the funnest part of this video, I have two quick little disclaimers. Number one, this video was filmed between April and May of 2024. And because I'm so on top of my YouTube game, this is coming out 13, 14 months later, which leads me to number two. The biggest downside that me and my shipping container buddy experienced was the lack of communication with Overland Embassy. Now, as I mentioned, this is coming out way later. During the process, myself and my shipping container buddy definitely voiced our concerns in a very respectful way, like, hey, we would have appreciated if you would have let us know about this ahead of time. So I am hoping that nobody has to experience the lack of communication that we did. It was especially frustrating for my shipping container buddy because he works in international freight and shipping logistics. I am a little bit more easy breezy, go with the flow. I still will share a few things at the end that I really wish I knew beforehand that I did not learn from Overland Embassy, and you will learn them in this video too. So let's get started. How do you contact Overland Embassy? You go to their website. They have a Contact Us tab. Scroll all the way to the bottom, fill out your name, email, phone, and message. They will then send you a very long, detailed email back. I suggest reading this email 3, 4, 5 times if you have to. I'm going to slowly show you the email on screen. You can pause, take screenshots, save it for later, whatever works easiest for you. As you can see, they go over the cost per vehicle. It ends up to be about $2,200 US per vehicle. They then share all inclusive. This is the service that they offer. This is why I booked with them. I was in and out of the emergency room in Panama at the time. Solo traveler with a dog. I really had a lot on my plate. So all inclusive was the perfect option for me. They go into detail, everything that they cover, some of the time frames, what it's included. It also includes 2 overnight stays at the Overland Embassy campground, Wi-Fi, showers, restrooms, etc. I will say if you do not stay at the campground, they do not adjust the price to reflect that. And then it does go over all of the deposit you will need to put down, all of the paperwork that you will need. And then at the very bottom, it starts to note the process, police inspection, the paperwork time frame, fuel, propane, and if you need to clean your truck. Once you respond that yes, this is for me, they will then respond with an email detailing how to complete the deposit. Once you put down your deposit, you will get a confirmation that your deposit has been received. And then that email will go over everything again that you need to prepare the documents, the police inspection, fuel, propane, cleaning your truck, etc. And then included on the email, you will get a police PDF instruction guide. This goes over the documents that you will need to bring, the process, and then the location, some additional information for additional paperwork that you need to do. And at the bottom, there is a very important reminder to not wear long pants. And this is not because of safety or anything like that. It is because the police officer, the only police officer that does this in the entire country, does not like legs. And the police officer that is in charge of the police inspection is sometimes a little rude, so be prepared for a not so welcoming experience. Let me share that with you right now.
Ay, ay, ay. We are here with Darby. Thank you so much for all your help. I would have never made it. Up early for the police inspection. We went and did that. What a complete mess. Like, if you think Honduras and Nicaragua border crossings are a mess, this is top-notch, elite mess. The system is not a system. The system is a system for the guy who just does it the way he wants. And it's just a complete nightmare. To the left. On the left. Okay. Thankfully, that's the gentleman. Somebody usually always speaks English. He was so kind to help me translate everything the guy was asking. But not only that, literally lead me to the place that I need to get my paperwork done. We will come back around 3 p.m. I was originally told 1 p.m. but that's not looking so much like the case. Okay, we are back. Round 2. Now we need to pick up the certificate and hopefully it's ready and we can go.
Okay, let me quickly recap the police inspection for you and how it should work and why it is a little bit frustrating. So, number 1, you need to go to the police inspection at 7 a.m. No later than 7 a.m. You must wear pants because the police officer doesn't like legs, okay? The process should only take maybe 5 minutes per person. You will need your title. If your title does not include your license plate number, you will also need your registration. You need your passport. Obviously, within your passport is the stamp that you entered Panama, and then you need your TIP, your temporary import permit. The purpose of this process is to verify that your name, your passport number, your VIN, make, model, and plate all match within your documentation. They will look at the VIN on your truck, and that is literally it. It should take 5 minutes per person. The morning I arrived, 7 a.m., there was maybe 15 people. You would think person by person, 5 minutes each. The whole entire process would be complete by maybe 8:30 a.m. No. What you should expect is to arrive at 7 a.m. and then the police officer will gather everybody together. He will explain the directions for every single process that needs to be accomplished. He will explain the order in which you must present your paperwork to him. Very particular, this lovely man. And then he goes through everybody's process the same time. So he will have you line up and you will all come and present your paperwork. And then he will have a little break. And then one by one, he will go and look at each vehicle. And then one by one, he will send you off. The entire process took about 3 hours for maybe 15 people. The difficulty getting to the other building is simply because of the way that the roads are. It's a little confusing, and you will maybe not enjoy driving in Panama City. It's one of the craziest cities. It's up there with Lima, Peru. So you must go to the other building. Once you arrive to the other building, do not go in the big major line. That is not for you. Go straight into the building. There will be a reception desk. Speak to that lady. Let her know you are there to drop off your original documents. The police inspector will send the other documents to this location, and then some other person will certify the certified document from the police officer. You will then need to return at some point in time. The paperwork that Overland Embassy provides says 1 p.m. This is not always accurate. It's going to be different every single day. We went back at a later time, about 2 p.m., and then sat there and waited an hour each time. So 3 hours at the police inspection, 1 hour to drop off original documents, and then another hour when I came back to pick up the documents. Let's move on to the next part, getting your pet health certificate.
Okay, so we just spent an hour and a half at the vet to do the health certificate, which I have to come back tomorrow at 11:30 to get the health certificate. And then we have to drive all the way to the other side of town, which is actually where we are staying, go to a different building to get his mira, and then go to a different building to get another god dang piece of paperwork. All right, well, I'm really glad that we're doing everything that we're doing today, because it is Monday. The truck is supposed to ship, or I should say, the truck is supposed to load into the container on Thursday morning. We are now doing that on Wednesday morning. So today we paid for the shipping, did all of the paperwork, the copies, got everything sorted for that. Then we came to the vet, did part 0.5 of Porter's health certificate to export him to Colombia. We will come back to the Overland Embassy tomorrow. I'm going to wash the truck, take everything out, do a triple check of the truck. We've already been out of the truck for about a week now, so I'm fairly confident that we have everything that we need to survive. It's just going to be all of those little things, disconnecting or turning off all of the solar stuff so nothing is running, and then we will come back to the vet, pick up Porter's health certificate. Then we will drive to the other side of town, go to the MITA office, do whatever there, and then they will tell us to go somewhere else where we will have to do something else, of course, and then we will go relax, and then Wednesday morning get up at 4 a.m. No, I'm kidding. Get up at 5 a.m. 5:30. I think I have to meet Alejandro's mom at 6 a.m. and then we will drive to Cologne and load the truck up, and then we will take a shuttle back, Airbnb or Uber back to our Airbnb. So yeah, we're doing everything like 24 hours ahead of time, but it's okay because at least I will have the truck and we can do all of this no problem. Even if we didn't have the truck, there are Ubers in Panama and they are incredibly reasonable. I think to get back and forth to the Overland Embassy from where we are, it's about a 25-minute drive, and that Uber is, I think, $5 or $6. It's super cheap. So, but it's a lot easier just to do it in our own truck with Porter, because obviously I can't bring the dog inside for most of this stuff, so he has to wait in the truck, and I just want to get it done and over with. Yippee! Today we are going to wash this beast. No scrub, all lies. This is a before.
This is dirty.
So the truck is clean and I got my package. I'm so excited for this. Yay! Ooh. What is on my face? Yep. Mud. Of course. I have to go do things now. I have to go pick up Porter's health certificate. Then we have to go to the government office to get his MITA, and then I think we have to go somewhere else, of course. But yeah, I'm so bummed that they moved the shipping date up 24 hours because it changes all of my timing and schedule, and I didn't have enough notice to change or do things faster. So the outside of the truck is washed, and that's what I really wanted to accomplish. I'm thankful that I did all of the laundry and the bulk of the organization in Perasi last week, because now I don't really have time to do any of that today, and that was my plan to do tomorrow, would be like a full reorganization and clean the inside a little bit, but we are just not going to have time because I have to go pick up this vet certificate, and then we have to go to the other office, and that will probably be the rest of my day, which I guess I don't actually need to do today. I could do that tomorrow because we can just Uber there and back, but I'd rather do it while I have the truck and I can move around with Porter instead of leaving him alone and then he'll have seizures. So yeah, we're gonna go do all of that, and I got my package. I'm so happy. Talk about last minute. I'm so happy because now that stuff can go in the truck shipping and I don't have to put it in my carry-on or anything. Well, that was slightly painful only because whoever originally added that location to iOverlander put it at the wrong location, and or the location has since changed because the vet that I went to told me to go to the 4th floor. There's literally nothing on the 4th floor. It's you get off of the elevators to the 4th floor and there's a door to the stairs to go up or down, whichever way you want to go. At least the last step was painless after we found the correct location because nobody knows where anything is. You no longer need to go to the bank to pay the bank to do the things. Oh yeah.
So that sums up the pet health certificate process, and I'm laughing quite a bit because watching all of that video back really just makes me chuckle. In real life, these moments are very stressful. They're overwhelming. You're trying to be a responsible pet owner. You want all of your paperwork to be perfect, no mistakes, because you have to travel from Panama to Colombia. You're changing continents. It's a really big deal, especially if you're traveling alone like myself and you don't have any help. So I want to go through this process really quickly with you. It was very frustrating for me because all of the information on iOverlander was old, outdated, very incorrect. Number one, you can go to the vet right by Overland Embassy. It's super close. Start the process. You will go, they inspect your pet, and they start the process for the health certificate. I have no idea why it is a 24-hour process in Panama. Every other single country for a health certificate for a pet, they complete it right then and there in the office and hand it to you. You go day one, you start the process, they inspect your pet, you come 24 hours later, they will let you know exactly when to come back to pick it up. They will give you that health certificate. You need to take that health certificate to Plaza Edison. And this is where the big frustration started because that is like telling somebody to go to Washington Mall and that's it. There is no further information. The information that was on iOverlander was very outdated and incorrect. The GPS location and directions does not even exist anymore. Previously, you had to actually go to the bank to pay for the certification of the certification. I went to the bank. They had literally no idea what I was talking about. I went to so many different buildings, up and down the elevator. People were very confused. They had no idea where this department was. So what I'm going to do for everybody watching is put a little guide on my website, and it is going to include GPS locations of where to park, the building you need to go to, and the building next to it, which I highly suggest. So when you get there, you park. There is the main building that you need to go to. However, I recommend going to the convenience store that is right next door. The guy that works there will put all of your information into a computer system of some sort, and then he will make copies of everything. You need this for the actual building right next door. You go, you give them the certificate, the copies, the little print off from the guy next door who runs the computer convenience store, and it's very fast, maybe 5 minutes or less. And I believe for the copies and the process, it was less than $10. Let's move on to the day of shipping. Very exciting and emotional. Yay!
Good morning, buenos dias. We're driving to Cologne to load macho taco into a shipping container to go from Cologne to Cartagena, and I'm excited. I'm nervous. I feel strange because I'm gonna be without my car and casita for the next 2 weeks, and yeah, I'm nervous. I'm not nervous. I'm sad to leave my truck and my car just floating at sea. My truck and my car, my truck and my camper, but it's all good. There's my shipping buddy. Yeah. All right, we've arrived 5 hours later. I'm pretty sure this is our shipping container.
There's something to tell you.
They're all loaded up.
Yeah.
So I lied. There's actually going to be 4 parts to this video because I'm just going to put everything all into one. So the next part of this video is going to be flying to Colombia and then everything that you do on the Colombia end of things to leave with your home on wheels. So as I'm doing with the pet health certificate for Panama, I'm also going to create a Colombian side. If you are like me and you prefer to read things especially when it comes to maps and knowing exact locations. I just find having a written guide a little bit easier to follow. So I'm going to do all of that. I'm going to include where the port is, where I recommend staying, especially if you have a pet, to be close to parks, easy to walk to and from the port so you don't have to spend extra money on Ubers. And then we're going to end on things I wish I would have known prior to, like pets are not allowed in Ubers in Cartagena. It's against the law. So let's get into the Colombia end of things and some really exciting, crazy moments that happened. Flying to Colombia with Copa Airlines was very easy, and I am so proud of Porter and how well he did on the airplane. The flight is pretty short, and my website has a complete guide on every single step that you need to do. And when you arrive at the airport, you go to this office. They will process your paperwork and payment. Welcome to Colombia. We made it. We are in our room. We're all checked in. It is hot. It is sweaty. But we're so excited to be here. So excited to be here. Porter is eating some dinner. He did great on the flight. I don't even think he knew we were on an airplane. He laid on the floor the entire time. I brought his dinner container and then put peanut butter all over it. And yeah, he just laid on the floor the entire time. The only thing that happened was at the landing, he started to get, like, as soon as the wheels went down, as soon as the wheels went down, he was like, what is happening? And he started to like sit up and look at me. And then when we started to descend, he was shaking, his ears were bothering him. And then right before we touched down, he jumped up onto me and was like, no. And he was fine. He was just looking out the window, but oh my God, you have to be kidding me. But it was really sweet. He was like, save me, and then he watched out the window as we landed, and it was good. This has to be a joke. I just got a message from Overland Embassy, and the container is delayed. Come on. Okay. So now we will be here 12 days instead of 9. This was all really frustrating as well, because like if I just would have known 5 hours ago, I would have stayed in Panama. I'm very excited to be in Colombia, but I'm not very excited to be here without a vehicle, by myself, with a dog. Like, dogs are not even allowed in Ubers. So the logistics of me getting back and forth with Porter are just that much more stressful, because I can't leave him alone for very long. Like, I can leave him alone in the room for 20 minutes, right? But if I have to go back and forth to the port 2 hours at a time, it's really stressful for him, and I can't take him with. Oh, this is... Like, you couldn't have sent that update 5 hours ago. I would have stayed in Panama. A little frustrating, for sure. So now we have to find a place to stay for longer here in this little area. And also I learned... I'm so tired. Or just edit that out. Also, I learned that my import permit for the truck actually starts when I arrive. So I am disappointed with Overland Embassy and their lack of conveying information. We arrived! Porter, what do you think? We're so sweaty. This is so cute. They even have a little dog bowl.
Oh, I love it. It's super tiny, but it's super chill. Big bathroom. And then we have a little tiny kitchenette. How perfect. Ciao. Let's get you some water. It's 2:30 in the morning. I just woke up by this. Oh my god! Oh my god, the waterfall included. Alright, so the water is now through the entire apartment. What happened, bud? All the way. So now the water is just coming all the way out. What an adventure. If you did not know, almost all homes in Mexico and Latin America have drains on the floors, which is good for cleaning, but also good when the ceiling falls in a rain. Thanks for all your help, bud. Aww. Today is the day. Well, not really. It's day one. We're walking to do the first inspection of the container. Open it, make sure it's my truck. Yay! He doesn't care. That's right, get out of the way so I can get my truck. Wow. Let's hope it's our trucks. Yes! So excited! So excited! Oh yes! Yeah. Yeah, baby.
Check the car.
Okay.
Everything is okay?
Macho taco exists. Okay, so we got it out of the container, and then I don't know what we do now. More paperwork.
Yeah.
And then we come back tomorrow if we can have the trucks. Or in 2 days? I don't know. Buenos dias. good boy. Sorry for my mom's voice. You are such a good boy.
Oh, another update. Overland Embassy. We are supposed to pick up our trucks yesterday. Even though we loaded our trucks in Panama 16 days ago, over 2 weeks ago, there's an error. There's an error on the Panama side saying the shipping company does not authorize this delivery of my. So now here I am, 10 days in Colombia, sitting around, waiting for these professional.
Porter, are you so happy? We have our truck back? Are you so happy? We have our truck back. Yes. We are so happy. Finally. 16 and a half days later.
Getting a little sassy there at the end. I can assure you that my shipping container buddy was 10 times more irate than I was, as he works in shipping logistics. At the end, we were supposed to get our trucks out on a promised date. It ended up being the next day because there was an issue with the paperwork on the Panama end, and this really set my shipping container buddy. This pushed him over the edge of frustration because Alejandro then came back saying that we would have to pay for additional storage days because of their error. Found that to be very frustrating. Anyways, we got our trucks, life went on, happy days. As promised, things I wish I knew before this whole wild adventure. I already mentioned them in the video, but I want to go over them specifically. Number one, your tip, your temporary import permit for Colombia starts when your passport is stamped, when your person physically enters Colombia. Now, Overland Embassy does recommend staying in Panama longer. They don't say exactly why. This is why. I do think Colombia overall is cheaper compared to Panama. However, it is not cheaper if you are in Colombia and there is a delay, which you should expect to happen. Then you have to move places like I did. It ended up costing me more money in the long run. Number two, pets. Pets are not allowed in Ubers in Colombia. It is against the law. If you get lucky, like I did, and ask the Uber driver, it's up to them, yes or no, to allow your pet into the Uber. Even on the Uber app, there is no like Uber pet option. It's not there. And I definitely had Uber drivers deny me rides with Porter. It's up to the driver. So definitely plan ahead. If I had to do it all over again, I would actually stay in Panama and fly the day I get confirmation that the ship has arrived in port, or you can log in, you can see the ship live where it is. It updates every second. They have the GPS tracker, so you can watch online and see when it arrives to the port and then fly the next day. Even with a pet, I think all in all, in the end, that would be less stressful and save you money in the long run. So that is the next video, or that is the video. Thank you for watching, and tune in next time for our Colombian adventure. Thanks for watching. Ciao.